that because there's a new NDPP coming in, she doesn't want to confuse matters about where representations must go to by accused persons, but I just want you to deal with it. It's at page 588 of the same bundle. And you'll just have to explain this email from Advocate Johnson. It's a response to you regarding what happened at court, and then you say to Advocate Johnson that you have told the accused representative in the Lushaba matter they intend making representations, and you said to them they'll make the representations to the NDPP, right? Advocate Johnson is upset by that.
So there was a conversation between myself and Mr. Lushaba and Mr. Makhashwa's advocate. He indicated that he intended on making representations about the matter to the NDPP. And that he did indicate that part of it was a complaint against Advocate Johnson. We then agreed that we'll postpone the matter for outcomes of representations to the NDPP. This did not sit well with Advocate Johnson, Mr. Perumal, and Mr. Padiachi, but also it became clearer later on that this became a bigger issue than it needed to be because they needed to find a way to remove me. But Advocate Johnson indicates that representations come to IDAC, to my office, gets a copy immediately. You and the team draft a response for the ID within 2 weeks of receipt. Submit that to the ID's office for perusal and engagement from the team. Response must be sent to defense no later than the last day of February 2026. I then informed, despite the fact that I had communicated with the advocate previously, I foresaw where this was going.
Well, can I just ask you about the line above the red writing where Advocate Johnson says, correct this today as we have a new NDPP starting on Monday and I don't want confusion on what is going there, like we don't know what we are doing. Is your understanding that representations by accused persons are made to IDAC or to the NDPP?
Sometimes representations come to IDAC, sometimes they go to the NDPP, but in the normal course, so if you have to look at the regional court structure, representations would go to the SPP, and if the accused or his defense is unhappy with the reply from the SPP, it would go to the chief prosecutor, and then if that is a problem then, or a disagreement, it would go to the DPP of that jurisdiction. Here we have the ID who is making the decisions and authorizing the investigations and the prosecution. So my understanding would be that it would, in line of that, in terms of the policy of it should go to the NDPP. But more specifically so because the advocate had clearly informed me that his clients had instructed that they were questioning Advocate Johnson's involvement.
Page 592 of the bundle. This is, you send a letter then to an email to General Lushaba's legal representative saying, after having spoken to my senior, representations must go to Advocate Johnson. It is on page 593.
Correct.
You say, good day, sir. We note that you intend to make representations to the NDPP. However, upon consultation with my senior, please note the processes of representations. It must be sent to IDAC head Advocate Johnson. Should it be refused or your client be unhappy with the outcome, representations may then be made to the NDPP. Trust you find in order. They respond and say, you can start from firstly.
Firstly, IDAC is not party to the court proceedings. The matter is between our client and the National Prosecuting Authority, which has prosecuted charges against our clients and not IDAC. It is therefore the National Prosecuting Authority that must decide on the future of the court matters. Secondly, The head of IDAC has commented on the evidence that the National Prosecuting Authority intends to present against our clients during trial proceedings, and in the process contradicted some pieces of evidence that was disclosed to the defense. This is also a point of contention in our representations. It is for this reason that in our understanding of conflict of interest, even if the process directed that representations be addressed to the head of IDAC, that such would not be an appropriate action.
The cutoff, we hope that you will find the above in good order. And what comments were these by Advocate Johnson? Because they're referring to, this is January 2026. Do you know what, was it the ad hoc committee?
It was evidence at the ad hoc committee. I'm unsure of what the averments were. I do remember reading them in the representations, but I also am not allowed to make those available.
Okay. Chair, that concludes this topic unless the commissioners have anything for the witness on the Mokwele matter. I want to move on to Medicare 24 after lunch. But there may be aspects of the Mokwele matter that may arise during the Medicare 24 matter anyway, because of the timeline, there's an overlap. So Commissioner Baloy doesn't have to stress that I'm I'm prohibiting her from dealing with the Mokwele matter. There will be in the notes reference to it, but my main focus is going to be on Medicare 24.
Let's adjourn and resume at 2 p.m.
Shine, shopping online. Download now.
Standard Bank, Stanbic Bank. Download now.
For every AI innovation, real enterprise value comes from technology that delivers measurable results at scale. 11 Labs is partnering with world-leading companies, innovating their workflows with human-like text-to-speech, highly accurate, lightning-fast speech-to-text, and authentic AI voice dubbing, all delivered at high concurrency and consistent, uncompromising quality. With proven enterprise-grade uptime, compliance, and API integrations, 11 Labs powers the world's most demanding audio workflows with high-quality, robust solutions. Innovate today with 11 Labs enterprise-grade AI audio solutions.
Shine, shopping online. Install it now.
Mukuru. Send money transfers. Get it today.
aspect I promise before we go to Medicare 24 that I need to cover with you, and it's on page 422 of file 10 part 2. Now, you will recall when you gave evidence, you spoke about a device or a memory stick with a whole lot of information regarding, amongst others, Operation Diversion, which is information that was in the possession of Mr. Pariachi.
Correct.
Some of the documents that you've provided the commission was on that stick, which you understood to be a stick that was Mr. Pariachi's information, his information. One of the documents that you found on there was an unsigned affidavit, or a document that appears to be would have been a affidavit by Mr. Perumal regarding.
Keep these 3 things in mind while using Suno. So tip number 1, experiment. Create different versions of your songs, tweak the prompt, change the styles, and adjust the weirdness. There's so much you can control to get exactly what you hear in your head. Tip number 2, be specific. Don't just write, make a sad rock song. Instead, specify what you need. So the more specific you are, the better the results. Tip number 3, don't always copy paste. Try adding your own sound to it to make it more you. Maybe take the stems, throw it onto Suno Studio or your DAW, add some drums, record some guitars, and take it to the next level. So try these Suno tips and get better results.
That it is an unsigned document which you found on his end. When we look at it is an unsigned document which you found on his end. When we look at the document properties which will be provided, it shows that the author is Mr. Dylan Perumal.
Correct.
And if we could just deal with a few paragraphs of that statement. The first is paragraph 2 on page 422, where he says, on 22nd January 2025 at about 12 o'clock, a confidential meeting was convened by the investigating director, Advocate Johnson. The meeting was attended by Mr. Sosoko, Advocate Ramsamy, senior investigators Pariachi, Rapesu, and I. This is now that meeting that we've dealt with, right?
The first meeting with the presentation, correct?
Yes. He then says, during the ensuing meeting, Mr. Sosoko informed the ID that criminal investigations were conducted against Mr. Cedric Nkabinde while he and SI Rapesu, senior investigator Rapesu, were based in the IPID. Mr. Sesoko also advised the ID that SI Rapesu has evidence in that regard, adding that Mr. Nkabinde was declared to be an untruthful witness in a court proceeding. If we can just pause there, what I noticed is that he doesn't deal with how it came about that Mr. Nkabinde was discussed, became a topic of discussion. You say that it was the ID, Advocate Johnson, who initiated that discussion because of an encounter that she had a day or two prior with Mr. Nkabinde while she was waiting for the minister at his residence for a meeting.
Correct. As per my 1st April 2025 affidavit, I set out that in this after the presentation, Advocate Johnson had indicated that she had had a meeting with the minister at his residence the evening before, and that she was left alone with Mr. Nkabinde for an extended period of time. And he gave her the heebie-jeebies, and that's how the conversation about Mr. Nkabinde and the investigation started. With regards to this paragraph, the investigation relating to Mr. Nkabinde, those two dockets, sorry, are not held by Mr. Rapesu, nor is he part of that investigation. The one docket is in court for trial in Palm Ridge. He is an investigator formerly of IPID, Mr. Timani Benang, And the other investigation is one of Mr. Belochan, which is in the High Court, yes.
Yes. And so there's no explanation, like I said, as to how the topic came about, and also how Mr. Sissoko and Mr. Rapesu actually then volunteered this information that they had on Mr. Nkabinde.
Correct.
Importantly, at 2.2, it stated, the ID then directed that SI Pariachi should conduct an investigation in relation to the allegations made involving Mr. Nkabinde. Now, you put it a bit softer than that. You said it was more just gathering facts and that the ID was doing at that stage. But he seems to already say that at that stage, or would it have been in a separate meeting that the ID then directed Mr. Pariachi to conduct an investigation?
As per the WhatsApps that was previously displayed, as well as the affidavit, my affidavit from the 1st of April, it was when Advocate Johnson had required or sent me a message saying that she had just seen the minister and that we need to move ASAP on the Nkabinde thing. It was at that point that Advocate Johnson, so in that meeting, it was only myself, Advocate Johnson, Mr. Perumal, and Mr. Sissoko.
This is now not the meeting of 22 January. This is another meeting, the 23 January.
23 January.
Yes.
23 January, according to the WhatsApps. In that meeting, Mr. Perumal indicated that Mr. Belochan can continue with the investigation on Mr. Nkabinde. And then the other investigation was with Mr. Binang at the time. So it was a discussion about that. And Mr. Sissoko said that he doesn't think that anyone from IPID or Mr. Perumal's team must actually continue with the investigation, that a neutral IDAC investigator must deal with the investigation into Mr. Nkabinde. And it was at that point that Advocate Johnson said, Mr. Padiachi will do the investigation.
Then at 423 paragraph 3, it stated, on the morning of 30 January 2025, SI Pariachi and I held a meeting with the ID with regard to another investigation. The ID during this meeting informed us that Mr. Nkabinde had tried to contact her the previous evening while she was at religious prayers, and she was not in a position at the time to take his calls. She explained that she had sent him text messages in that regard. Mr. Nkabinde had also tried calling on the morning of the 30th of January 2025. Now, were you aware of this?
So, the version that was given to me by Advocate Johnson is that Mr. Nkabinde did try to call her the night before. She couldn't answer because she was at the temple. However, by chance, Mr. Nkabinde called while Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi were in her office. And so she answered and she put him on speaker. And in fact, in that meeting, she said, you know me, Drew, you know I don't even take calls and I don't even put it on loudspeaker, but by chance on that day, by God's grace, I put it on speaker. And so that's how she explained it to me on the 30th.
Okay, and at 3.1 he says, I then informed the ID that Mr. Nkabinde contacted me the previous evening to inquire on how investigations were progressing regarding SAP's crime intelligence matters. I advised him that we were making steady progress and our conversation ended there. Mr. Nkabinde had been assisting in the investigation purely from an intelligence and information perspective in a bid to address the alleged criminality within the crime intelligence division of the SAPs. Were you aware that Mr. Nkabinde was a source of intelligence for Mr. Perumal regarding the investigations, crime intelligence investigations?
No, until I saw this paragraph 3.1 a couple of weeks ago. I did not know Mr. Nkabinde. Also, when I read it, I was trying to figure out how a chief of staff would be a source of information, because that's an informant.
At this stage, you were, however, aware that from the forklift witness that the office of the minister had arranged for the witness to go to the Eastern Cape, right?
Correct. And
Yes.
in that consultation that took place on the 20th in the evening with that witness, where a day after Mr. Perumal said he didn't want the name of Nkabinde mentioned in front of Mr. Rapesu, that witness said that the arrangements were made by Mr. Nkabinde.
By the office of the minister.
By the minister, yes.
Yes. But you didn't know. Mr. Nkabinde and placed the cellular phone on speaker so that SI Pariachi Mr. Nkabinde and placed the cellular phone on speaker so that SI Pariachi and I could listen to the conversation. Mr. Nkabinde informed the ID that he was informed by one of your guys that an investigation had been initiated within the IDAC, instigated and initiated by Mr. Sesoko and others against him, and the person leading the investigation was a Brian Pariachi. He indicated that he was also informed that his banking records were going to be scrutinized from around 2018. And then on the next page, the ID inquired from him as to who gave him this information, to which he replied that he was informed of this by Mansa Rapesu. Now, according to you, Mr. Rapesu wasn't aware of an investigation.
He was not, except for the meeting on the 22nd of January, and where he was asked, so his involvement in this whole Nkabinde thing ended on the 22nd of January, where he forwarded the transcripts of the court proceedings of Mr. Nkabinde to myself and to the remainder of the team. After that, all other meetings, as per my affidavit, Mr. Rapesu was not involved. Excuse me.
Okay. You'll just let me know if you need a break.
I will. Thank you so much.
Okay. And then, so that is just to place in context the evidence that you gave last week about a draft affidavit that you found that had that contradicted, where Mr. Perumal contradicted what Advocate Johnson had told you about the call with Mr. Nkabinde.
Correct.
Okay. And then if we can go to page 426 of the same bundle. And this is just on the housebreaking docket.
It's an email I sent on the 28th of March.
Well, the email is on the 2nd of April, but you want to explain what happened on the 28th of March.
On the 28th of March 2025, Mr. Perumal contacted me saying that, I'm not allowed to swear, saying that Rapesu did nothing on the housebreaking, and they now have to start from scratch, and ID's plan to put the Lushaba matter on the roll first can't happen now because Rapesu did nothing, etc., etc. And so I said, no, but that doesn't make sense, because I was even taking photos of the affidavits Rapesu obtained and sending them to Advocate Johnson. So on the in between the, should I just read the email now?
Well, I just want to clarify. So you referred to, in that email, to the investigator's report, which you attach, which is Mr. Rapesu's report on the housebreaking matter.
On all the work that he had done, what he had discovered, who he had spoken to.
Which you gave evidence on the last time.
Yes.
And then the telecoms with the chief on Friday, the 28th of March, 2025. Earlier on, you said this could have been the conversation where he mentioned the issue about perjury and the National Commissioner.
That's why I'm convinced, because the conversation was quite lengthy, that it would have been around the 28th of March. And prior to that, the communication was very strained and sporadic. So that's why I indicated earlier, it most probably was the 28th of March 2025 where the perjury issue was discussed again with me.
Okay. Then if you can then just read what you say from I was concerned.
I was concerned when Chief informed me that he did not receive the file containing the statements obtained and the diary entries made by Mansa. on the housebreaking docket, as I had previously perused same and had taken pictures of one of the statements and sent same to ID via WhatsApp, and indicated that I was so pleased as I required 2 more statements before I could draft a presentation for enrollment on the matter. On Monday, 31st March 2025, I went to Mr. Sissoko's office and made inquiries. Zandile, being Mr. Sissoko's PA, was asked to open the locked cabinet. In the third drawer, Zandile found the 2 files, and in those files were the original affidavits and the cell phone records as listed in the report attached. The files are still in Mr. Sissoko's office. Kind regards.
Now, just tell us about these files. Why were they locked up?
On the 10th of February, when Mr. Rapesu was given his letter, he was asked to hand everything, his laptop, his whatever was IDAC issued, and any files and dockets. In fact, he was asked to hand over everything, even the dockets for other related or other matters that are not related to the crime intelligence. So my understanding is that he had just given everything to Mr. Sissoko, and it was locked in Mr. Sissoko's cabinet in his office.
Okay. And so you found it? So
Yes, it was found. It had an index, it had his full diary entries of everything that he had done, or all the meetings, etc. It had the cell phone records that were obtained from the detective commander on the 38 Valeria 38 CAS docket. So I did this so that they can go and collect it.
What was your understanding of why the chief was now saying that Mr. Rapesu hadn't done anything on this matter?
It was twofold. The first is that Mr. Perumal wanted to enroll the Masiamula Kumalo matter first. And then the second one is that he was in the process of painting a very bad picture of Mr. Rapesu throughout the office.
Okay. Thank you. Now we can...
Before you do that, the Masemula Kumalo matter, was any work done? I mean, you are at a point now, you're speaking about enrollment. What preceded that before you get to this point where Mr. Perumal wants to enroll the matter or is disappointed that he's unable to enroll it? Has any investigation, any work being done about it?
Commissioner Beloy, I'm getting there. It's on page 21 of my affidavit.
I'm going to get there. Yes. All right, we'll pack it. And then an unrelated question. This is about representations to the NDPP, and now you have the ID saying representations in this case. In the, I think, Lushaba matter must come to her. What is in place? This is, I've had a quick look at the legislation. I don't see anything, I may have missed it, which speaks to representations and who has the power to make those decisions and the process for it. Is this contained in a policy, and what is the prevailing position? What is the position, in fact?
The policy, the prosecution directives policy manual doesn't specifically deal with IDAC. IDAC has not yet been included in those directives. So that is why I was explaining from a regional court perspective. And when the advocate indicated that there were concerns about Advocate Johnson, I had agreed that the representations would go to NDPP, and we would postpone for the NDPP's decision. Advocate Johnson had a problem with that in the sense that she felt that on the arrival of the new NDPP, it can't be representations on this matter in the first month.
So what she directed, or what she was upset about?
11 Labs AI voice agents are removing bottlenecks with streamlined customer lead qualifications, so your team never has to start cold.
Perfect. So we just need a few more details to get you started. What's your current address?
It's 456 Elm Avenue.
Okay, and what about your zip code?
48217.
An authentic conversational experience starts with low latency responses, delivering natural conversations with contextual understanding for a truly human touch.
Absolutely. I'll make a note on the system that the seller is looking to move fast.
AI voice agents are delivering results with highly customizable workflows and backed up by industry standard compliance. So get a head start with every customer journey with 11 Labs AI voice agents.
To that, that's on page 21.
Yes, it's still coming.
It's still coming.
So just
To that, that's on page 21.
yes, it's still coming.
It's still coming.
So just up to here, which one is leg 1, which one is leg 2, which one is leg 3, and
the
then the
seven-
one you are coming to, you can deal with it as part of your evidence.
I'm gonna just 539 is leg 4.
Oh, it's
And-
not leg 3, it's leg 4.
It's leg 4. The second memo of this very nature dated the 2nd of July,
Yeah.
2025, is leg 3. So this one is the Madondo Kumalo.
So can
No,
you
it's
then
the other way around.
Is it the other way
Yeah.
around?
can you
Yeah.
then do this for us without detail? Just in that order, which one was leg 1, which one was leg 2, which one was leg 3, and then I think you can pause there because Advocate Ngube is moving to leg 4 next, or is it leg 3?
No, so Medicare wasn't part of Operation Diversion.
Was not part of
Yes,
diversion.
but in the sequence of events, that's why I said there will still be stuff about crime intelligence, not necessarily the Mokwele matter, but other aspects of crime intelligence, and these are the two,
All right.
related to General Masemola and General Kumalo.
Let me tell you what I have on my list and could be mixed up. I have the properties case, I have the Mokwele case, I have the vetting case, and then I have the Lushaba matter. Those were all part of Project Diversion.
Correct.
Yes. And Medicare 24 is not part of that.
No.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so can we then go to page 16 of your supplementary statement?
Medicare 24
You
investigation.
have to wait for us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And commissioners, we will be doing some file hopping. It's unavoidable because of the extent of the corroborating documentation that I need to take you to. So we will be dealing with file 11, which is the notes, both file 10, 10.1 and 10.2, and there'll be file 9, file 9, yes. Okay, so we are on page 16 at the foot of the page, Medicare 24 investigation, attempts to link General Masemola and further attempts to arrest General Kumalo. And then the subheading is the irregular section 28.1 authorization.
Thank you. Paragraph 35. As previously stated, the Medicare 24 matter was referred to by Advocate Johnson as the SAPS contract and visa contract. I do not know why. I only became aware on the 13th of May 2025 that the SAPS contract and visa contract was in fact the Medicare 24 matter. When I was asked to assist with checking the application for a 28.1 authorization prepared by another prosecutor, as stated earlier, Advocate Johnson had mentioned the SAPS contract and visa contract from 22 January 2025 after her meeting with Minister Mkhunu. Paragraph 36. In any event, at the meeting of the 24th of April.
It's 16
It's
April.
16 April.
So 24 must change to 16. You may continue.
Mr. Perumal had informed Advocate Johnson that Advocate Shabalala had already drafted a Section 28.1 authorization application for the Medicare 24 matter, which was with a DPP in charge of supervising Advocate Shabalala. Advocate Johnson was very agitated and told Mr. Perumal that he had no idea what he had just done and that it should never have been done that way. She said that she did not even give Advocate Shabalala that matter, which I also later reflect in an email exchange of 13 to 16 May 2025. At the time, I did not understand Advocate Johnson's agitation because I had not been involved in the matter. However, when Advocate Johnson instructed me on the 13th of May 2025 to assist in finalizing the application for Section 28(1) authorization, I immediately appreciated the gravity of the situation. There was no Section 27 referral affidavit in existence at the time. Mr. Perumal had instructed Advocate Shabalala to prepare the application without a referral.
Okay, now we're going to have to go to a few documents in support of what you say there. The first is file 11, page 20. Do you have it?
Almost. I'm here.
Okay. So this is the meeting of the 16th of April 2025. We already dealt with it insofar as diversion is concerned.
Correct.
We now want to deal with it insofar as the Medicare 24 matter is concerned. And for that, can I ask you to go to page 28?
There's a line.
So this is your notes from that meeting.
Correct.
And what we see is there's a line in the middle, and then we see a name. Just bear with us for us to just display. And then you may continue. So the middle, yeah. On page 28. So yes, you can go.
Okay, I must just explain that when I was noting these things down, it was a conversation that was happening between Mr. Perumal and Advocate Johnson in that meeting, and I was just noting what was being said. So there's a mention of Charity Matlo, which is a general that we all know. Then there's an indication that there's a forensic report, a procurement process prepared, and that Advocate Shabalala has done an authorization.
Okay, so here this is what you were saying is that this was when Mr. Perumal was communicating to Advocate Johnson that that Advocate Shabalala had already done an authorization in respect of this matter.
Correct.
Okay.
And submitted it to the DDPP.
Okay, then we have S27.
So Section 27 will be Matlo, and that a consultation with SIU will take place, and there's a specific person at SIU that will provide or give it to us.
Okay.
Shine, shopping online. Install it now.
So this is now on the 16th of April 2025, and you're being told that General Matlo will be the Section 27 referral. She'll depose to the affidavit.
Correct.
Okay. In order for it to be referred to IDAC for investigation.
That
But you are having this discussion even before there's a referral.
This discussion is before a referral, and a 28(1) application has already been submitted.
This is the draft by Advocate Shabalala.
Correct.
Okay. Well, but when you say submitted, not to Advocate Johnson, it is submitted to the DDPP in order for the DDPP to submit it to Advocate
Johnson, yes.
Okay. Now...
Sorry. And the Section 28(1), Did you see it? Is it in this meeting? Do you know that it does exist for sure at
The
this point?
Section 28(1).
Yes.
The application.
On
The
the
application.
16th of April, in this meeting, I had not seen it as yet. I get an email on the 13th of May, 2025. And then there's a whole chain of it, and then eventually I do get hold of it, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so then if we can go to, so that is the discussion regarding General Matlo will be there, and then on the next page, page 29.
So there's talk about General Matlo being the 27 referral, and that it's sent to Paul being Advocate Law, the Deputy Director.
Okay, and that is what you were referring to. But you say send to Paul, it's with him already, the draft?
Correct, it's with...
For consideration?
Yes.
Do you get to know what preceded which, the Section 28(1) application and the referral that we now, in that same meeting, you record that it has been sent to Paul Lowe?
Commissioner Beloy, at that point, I didn't know anything about what was happening. I do later find out that there isn't a 27. There isn't a referral affidavit. There's something else that's sent that is considered a referral, but it's not in fact a referral.
And in terms of dates, where does it sit, that document that you refer to, in terms of dates, where does it sit vis-a-vis this 28(1)A application?
Commissioner Balwe, can we get to that in the chronology?
Okay,
so
that's
then
all right.
you'll see what happens on the 13th
Thank
of
you.
May. So you are then told in that meeting that the Section 27 or the Section 27 referral has been sent to Paul.
Correct.
Okay. And Paul Lowe is the DDPP.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if we go back to your statement at paragraph 37, and there's a correction to be made there as well. You may proceed.
When I inquired about the Section 27 referral affidavit in finalizing the draft,
So in the correction is that in finalizing the draft Section 28(1) application must be deleted because your inquiry is in that meeting of 16 April.
Correct.
As you say.
Yes.
So when I inquired about the Section 27 referral affidavit in the meeting,
I was told by Advocate Johnson that the referral was a preliminary audit report itself together with an email from General Matlo. I was never shown this email. I did not have the preliminary report either. I requested the report from Advocate Shabalala, and he sent it to me via WhatsApp. Apparently, he had received it via WhatsApp from Mr. Perumal. It must also, here there's a correction, either Mr. Perumal or Mr. Belochan.
okay.
Who had received it from General Matlo. The file name of the report had a date of 30 January 2025, but I do not know when it was given to IDAC by General Matlo.
Okay, let's then go to the correspondence regarding that. So we now on the 13th of May 2025, can we go to page 285 of file 10? We'll start at the bottom of file of that page of 285. It's an email from Advocate Johnson on the 13th of May 2025 to you, Mr. Perumal, and she CCs Mr. Sesoko, the PA, and she says SAPS Tembisa Hospital tender. You can read it.
True. You guys sent me a Section 28 application for this matter that TELAS drew up. I need you to look at it urgently and then submit. General McLeod contacted me and I want to authorize by Thursday. Check the designations, etc. and send a hard copy to Ino. Kindly remove TELAS Paul, etc. from the designation. Add Santos as the advocate as well as he will oversee when I am unable to attend to things. Drew, I also need another advocate to help you. I was thinking of Joy. If you agree, then add her and I will speak to her. She will get it to me, where I am tomorrow, meaning the hard copy.
And then you respond at the top of that page at 12:35.
Morning, Advocate Johnson. I will obtain the same from TELAS. I have not had sight of the documents TELAS submitted. Once I have, I will attend to the necessary and submit. I have not worked or interacted much with Joy. A second prosecutor would be much appreciated due to the volume. Thank you.
Okay, then if we can go to file 10-2, page 602. Just let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
This is the communication between you and Advocate Shabalala on the 13th of May, 2025. And we're looking at the voice call at 12:35.
Correct.
That's where you now contact him to get information regarding the 28.
Correct.
Okay. And he's not answering your call. He calls you back, and then you send a message to him.
Yeah, he called back to say that he's in court. So I sent him a message. Hey Shab, hi Shabs. What documents did you base your 28 application on? Or rather, where did you get the information on suspects or information from? He then calls back. He says to me that he had gotten it from either Sunil or Mr. Beluchin or Mr. Perumal. And he then...
If you travel internationally, this is the simplest way I've found to stay connected. I used to stress about data when traveling. It always runs out at the worst time. And that's why I started using USIMs. It's an eSIM you install once and keep for every trip. And even if your data runs out, it doesn't cut you off. You still have connection for maps, messages, and you can top up instantly right inside the app, especially when you actually need directions or to book something. So I don't have to worry about being stuck without data somewhere new. Download USIMs once and stay connected on every trip.
So at the bottom of that page 263. Can you just explain?
Yeah. Because I couldn't get the 28 draft documents that he had submitted, I contacted the project manager that is allocated to Advocate Low's team, Ms. Modiba, and I asked her for the authorization, the new authorization sent by TELAS, and then she sent it to me.
Okay, and the subject there is Tembisa new authorization. Good day for your attention. If we go to 264, you'll see the attachments. It's an application in terms of Section 28.1, a Section 28 authorization Vusi Musi Matlala, and a Section 28 designation Vusi Musi Matlala.
Correct.
Okay. And you, at the top of that page, you send it to Advocate Johnson.
Correct.
At 2:05.
Good afternoon, Advocate Johnson. Attached is the application drafted by Advocate Shabalala. Kind regards.
Then if we go to page 281, because there was quite a bit of activity on the 13th of May. At the bottom of 281, you hadn't yet sent the application to Advocate Johnson. You sent it at around 2 o'clock.
Correct.
But you had said to her that you'll try and get the information from Tillis. She responds to your 12:35 email, and she says to you at 1:44, if you can just read that.
Subject R8, Subs Tembisa Hospital tender. Drew, ask Chief to give it to you. I don't want Tillas wondering why we are now taking the matter. I never assigned him in the first place.
And this is in reference to the fact that at the meeting of the 16th of April, she was agitated that Mr. Perumal had gone ahead with the 28-1 and gone to Advocate Lowe without her involvement.
Correct.
Okay. And she says, I never assigned him in the first place.
Correct.
Okay. Then she tells you to go to the chief, but you had already approached the chief before she told you to go to chief. That we'll find on 604, which is in part 2 of 10.
Correct. There's a voice call between Mr. Perumal and myself, and then at 13:08, hi Dee, what docs did you give to Shabs to draft the 28 for the hospital? Need to confirm the submissions. He is currently busy and isn't responding. Please send to me. I know you are in consultation, so when you are able to, thanks. He replies, hi, don't know what he would have used to compile it. Okay, we'll wait for him to reply, meaning I'll wait for Advocate Shabalala to reply.
So Mr. Perumal is saying he doesn't know what Advocate Shabalala had used to compile the 28-1 application for authorization. Yet he was the one that asked Advocate Shabalala to do the authorization.
Correct, and when I had this conversation with Advocate Shabalala, he said he had all the proof to show that who sent it and whatever, but Mr. Perumal is denying it.
Okay, if we then go to page 281 of 10.1, this is now at 1350.
Advocate Johnson, I have asked Dylan for the documents that Tillas used as a basis for the application. He indicated he does not know what Tillas used as a basis for identifying suspects as listed, as well as the information on the committees contained in the 28. I obtained the 28 from Obusha as Tillas was unable to take my call. I need that information to confirm the Vermon's allegations to be authorized.
And then on page 280, Advocate Johnson responds to your email.
Colleagues, this is what happens when we involve people without the ID. I heard from this team that he had drawn up an application, and hence my remarks about why and on whose instruction. Please send me what he drafted and then ask him via email to send you the basis for his application.
And so Advocate Johnson is now saying this is now what happens when you guys don't involve the ID. Again, with reference to what happened in the meeting of 16 April, her
Correct.
not being involved in that process. We know then that you say to her that you did get the document, the report, and you ask her for the code. So if you can go to page 452, you can just explain to us 452, which is part 2 of 10. This is still on the 13th at 14:25 from you to Dylan, ceasing Advocate Johnson, Mr. Sesoko, and the PA, documents from Drew.
Yes. Afternoon, Dylan. I received General Matlow's report via WhatsApp from Tillas. It is encrypted and he can't remember the password. He indicated if memory serves, he got the documents from Sunil.
And that's Mr. Beluchan.
Correct. Please assist with the password so that I can urgently peruse the report and submit timeously to the ID. Your assistance is appreciated. Thank you.
Then if we go to 454, we'll see the encrypted document there, file details, SAP's preliminary audit report, 94 TP, 30 Jan 2025, encrypted 2212 final.pdf.
Correct.
Okay. And then on page 455, Advocate Johnson responds to your email.
The password is?
Yes, and then she says,
I also want a copy of this report with the application.
so you then now have the draft applications and you have the report.
Yes.
You still don't have a Section 27 affidavit.
No.
What does the report reveal? And what is the report? So it says preliminary report 30 January 2025. That's what it's saved as.
It is, so from the mandate, which is the first page, it indicates that it's an...
Can we go to it? Is it not much easier to go to it on file 10, page 301? Is that not the one?
Page?
File 10, page 301. So if you look at the date on 306,
Yes, that's
it
the one.
should be the one.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it indicates that risk management was a request to conduct an audit by internal audit and risk management was submitted by the Minister of Police through the National Commissioner on the 9th of January 2025. The internal audit and risk management performed a joint audit in respect of the bid. It does relate to quite a few irregularities and persons of interest. I don't feel comfortable.
No, that's fine. That's why I
going
didn't want
into the details of the report.
No, that's fine. I don't want you to deal with the details. That's why I just wanted to ask you from memory what you recalled about it. But if you go to page 306, there are signatures there, and General Matlo is one of the signatories.
Correct.
Okay. So you have the report now and you've got the applications. You finalized the application.
I didn't amend anything. I read through the report, I read through the application that was drafted by Advocate Shabalala. It's fairly comprehensive. I followed the instructions of the ID and changed the names of the persons to be designated on the matter. I also sent her a WhatsApp to confirm that the designated people need to be the same as Project Diversion. She confirmed and she indicated I must add Mr. Mbalo and Mr. Belochin.
Okay. Now, did you email the application to her? Or?
If we take note of the first email she sends to me, she says that a hard copy must be delivered to Ino, and Ino would get it to her wherever she is. So I did deliver the hard copy to Ino, and I think on the 16th of May, Ino sends scans the signed copy of the 28 one and sends it back to the team.
Is that the one on 287? 287, is
yes,
that the one?
That's the one, yeah. But I just wanted to confirm you didn't actually email the application to her. It was delivered to Ino.
Correct, it was hand-delivered to Ino.
And Ino then sends that on page 287.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go to the document, so 288 shows the attachment. And then on page 289. Now, can I just ask you, why was this a 28-1 and not a 28-13?
Like I said, I didn't change anything. I submitted it as Advocate Shabalala had drafted it. I only amended the designation. So I only made changes to page 6 of 7.
Page 6 of 7. Okay.
Mukuru, send money transfers. Download now.
I don't know where did he get the name of the suspect. I don't know where did he get the name of the suspects. Was that in the report or already in the application?
Yes, correct. The report did link the names as mentioned here.
So the suspects mentioned in the document was reflected in the report.
Correct.
Now, importantly,
Sorry, about this, maybe it's important for accuracy, even if you don't read out the names, to mention the context in which they appear. So, for example, you have people listed under the bid evaluation committee, and their names appear there. Some of them are amongst the ones charged, and I think if the report doesn't make any specific allegations of criminality against them or of irregularity against specific individuals, I think it's in fairness to those individuals that you should say in what context they appear in the report.
okay, can I deal with it when we get to the end of the report? Because what I want to deal with first is the designated individuals. And I want to highlight one name in particular, and that is on page 294. At paragraph 30, it is submitted that the following persons be designated to conduct the investigation, and at number 11 you see Major General Matlow.
Correct.
Now, Major General Matlow in the meeting of 16 April you are told she is the Section 27 referral.
Correct.
And General Matlow is not part of IDAC.
No.
She's part of SAPS.
Correct. Risk management.
Why was General Matlow included as being part of the investigation? Do you know?
I did make queries about this with the investigators at one of the meetings because I wanted to know how do we...
we can't hear you.
Sorry. How do we designate the complainant in an investigation? Because obviously she's going to be the A1 and now she's part and parcel of the investigation as well. And the other issue that I had was, where's the documents for duty reassignment? If we are designating a member of another unit, you still have to have correspondence between their supervisors. So it would have been either Mr. Sissoko or Advocate Johnson, and I think it's NASCOM that risk management reports directly to. So there would have been an agreement and formal communication of duty reassignment, even if it was just for that aspect. Because we've had it before. In fact, we still have it at the moment. I'm dealing with one of those matters where we have communication of duty reassignment. So one of my questions was, why is General Matlow the complainant part of the investigation, and where's the documentation of duty reassignment? And I was told that the ID authorized it, but it wasn't so politely put to me.
Now, at this stage,
So it's an irregularity, you're saying, that you would have, well, there's the obvious point about you would have a complainant being part of the investigating team, but more importantly, you're speaking to an irregularity about the duty assignment authorizations.
Correct.
There wasn't a record of that.
Correct. If I can give you just a small example. So there's an investigation that I'm working on with another DD at the moment. And even though the A1 is in fact the investigating officer, because he had started the investigation based on the Zondo Commission recommendations. So he is the A1, he's the complainant, so to speak. But he is from DPCI, and in the docket itself, we've got in the B clip his duty reassignment documents.
And you say on this one, you haven't seen that duty reassignment, you haven't seen anything other than the 28.
Correct. I've only seen the 28 one, and I've seen the preliminary reports. the encrypted report.
Okay, then we can go to page 292. And I'll just ask Commissioner Baloyi for guidance here on this aspect insofar as the suspects are concerned, the issue you raised.
So what I wanted to be careful about is that we don't create the impression that the report has fingered specific people, linking them to specific misconduct. So if you look at, let me go to that page. If you go to a page that lists committees, 311, thank you. So if you go to that page in the report at 311, it lists different committees and tells you who is in the committee, who are those people in the committees. And insofar as it doesn't allege, there's no misconduct, irregularity, criminal conduct alleged against a person, but the only link we can make from the report is that they sat in a committee. I would rather you point that out.
Yes, I wasn't going to deal with the suspects. It wasn't part of the 28-1.
Okay.
My focus was on the designation, the investigators,
Okay.
what was being investigated, why was the complainant included as being part of the investigation, and whether there was any authorization for that, what did we need in order for that to be, that
Okay.
was the...
That's your focus.
Yes, that's
Okay.
why I didn't deal with the report either.
Okay.
Just
I
the
guess-
issue of the report was just that it was sent to you when you were told that the report is the 27, it was part of the 27 referral.
Correct.
Okay. No, I'm happy with that. I was just concerned when she said I'm uncomfortable to list people's names. Okay.
But just the report says the bid was not properly evaluated. So to the extent that there are issues with the bid evaluation committee, all the report says is that the bid was not properly evaluated. And it doesn't allege criminality.
Yes, that is why I wanted to establish the extent of this witness's involvement with that. And as I understood her to say, she didn't change anything on the authorizations. She wasn't really involved in in assessing the merits of the application. You were just finalizing it for submission.
Correct.
Okay, because the names were there. You didn't check whether the names should be there or should not be there. That's why you asked, where did you get the names?
Correct.
Okay. Now, at this stage, you still haven't seen a 27, a Section 27 affidavit?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
If we can go to page 544, which is file 3. Do you have it? It's the transcript of Advocate Johnson's evidence before the ad hoc committee.
I'm here.
And at 544, it starts at the top by Advocate Arnser. Do you want to comment on the subheading IDAC investigations into Mr. Vusi Musikat Matlala? Advocate Johnson says, IDAC received a Section 27 referral from SAP's Risk Audit Division, and this is not the first time we would have received referrals or work with the Risk Audit Division. There are many matters currently in IDAC where one is looking at corruption, the PFMA contraventions, and fraud related to the supply chain. And then if you skip the next two paragraphs. It's Advocate Johnson again. The first and only time that we are looking into allegations against Mr. Madlanga relates to the 360 million rand tender that was awarded and then subsequently cancelled sometime this year. So there have not been criminal investigations into him as a service provider. We have criminal investigations against SEPS members and other service providers where the supply chain management processes are circumvented and corruption or fraud or PFMA contraventions took place. In February of this year, this would have been 2025 because she gave evidence in 2025, is the first time that we got a referral that relates to Mr. Madlanga as a potential suspect, either in fraud, corruption, or together with other SAPS officials' contraventions of the PFMA. We received the referral on the 16th of February 2025, and then through the media, as we paid attention, we found out that Mr. Madlanga had been arrested and his phones were seized. Now, do you know of a 16 February 2025 referral?
No.
And then at page 546, Advocate Aronsa asks, now this referral on the 16th of February this year, where did this referral come from within SAPS? Advocate Johnson, the head of their risk audit referred the matter to IDAC in terms of Section 27 referral, deposed to an affidavit, attached supporting documents, and the matter came over to IDAC. And then he says, when would you first become involved in this referral, if at all? And Advocate Johnson then says, when matters are referred, they almost invariably come through one of the chief criminal investigators, more so through the head of investigations and operations, Mr. Matthews Sesoko. They would receive the matters and go through the matter at a cursory perusal to see whether or not it is a matter that IDAC can take. They then compile an application, which we call a Section 28 application for the ID to consider whether or not to authorize an investigation. That is the first time I become involved in applying my mind to the matter. Here the matter was then authorized. When it is authorized, investigators and prosecutors are designated to conduct the investigation of these matters as it is a prosecution-led methodology. But the investigators and the prosecuting team go through determining what task activities, line of investigation should be followed. It is not for the ID. And he says, so they would first, Advocate Aronsa, so there would first be what sounds like a preliminary investigation.
Standard Bank, Stanbic Bank. Download today and get started.
That on the 16th, because it's in a that on the 16th, because it's in a directly in response to Advocate Aronsa asking her about the 16 February 2025 referral at 546. She says, the head of their risk audit referred the matter to IDAC in terms of Section 27 referral, deposed to an affidavit, attached supporting documents, and the matter came over to IDAC. And this is in response to a direct question about now this referral on the 16th of February this year, where did this referral come from within SAPS? Was Advocate Johnson, have you seen a 16 February 2025 referral?
No, and even on the 13th of May, there was no 27 referral. There was just the report that was bouncing between IDAC employees via WhatsApp. And if we take note of the email of Advocate Johnson on the 13th of May, it says, I was contacted by General Matlo, and I want to authorize.
3519 or file 9, where there is an affidavit by General Matlo. It's file 9. 3519.
I'm there.
This is an affidavit at 3519 by General Matlo, and if we go to page 3521, on the 6th of June, it's signed, commissioned on the 6th of June 2025 at Pretoria. Do you see that?
I do.
And this was referred to as the Section 27 referral during Advocate Johnson's evidence.
How can it be a 27 referral if the authorization is done on the 16th or signed on the 16th of May? The Act says 27 referral and then authorization. So if they're saying the 6th of June is the referral, then they were working backwards.
And if you look at the affidavit, the contents of the affidavit, at paragraph 3.
Okay, I've got it in front of me, yes. Paragraph 3.
I hereby submit this affidavit to the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption in support of initiating a criminal investigation into the alleged unlawful awarding of a tender to Medicare 24 Tshwane District Pty Limited to provide medical health care services to the SAPS for a period of 3 years. The monetary value of the tender was approximately 360 million rand. So this is the affidavit where she says she wants the investigation to be initiated.
Correct. If we just go a little bit further down, it says something about a final report will be provided. A comprehensive internal audit report is currently being complied.
What paragraph?
Paragraph 5, which will shed further light on the alleged criminal misconduct. This is where the fight between myself and the investigators started. Because way before this, in May already, I'm asking how can we be investigating something where a report has been requested, an internal report has been requested by the NASCOM, and the final report is not submitted. So how are we authorizing an investigation where we don't have a final report? It didn't make sense to me, and that was the start of a lot of problems.
And when was the first time you saw this affidavit?
When it was flighted at the commission.
When it was during Advocate Johnson's evidence?
Testimony, correct?
Okay.
Is it not odd that according to Advocate Johnson, the referral was made in February, but the Section 28s were only being done on the 15th of May? So that's 3 months later. Now, if you follow the sequence according to her evidence, it first goes to Mr. Sissoko, and then there's an application to her, and then she authorizes in terms of Section 28. So how does one explain that 3-year gap from the date when she says 3 months, 3 months gap from when she says the referral was made to the 15th of May when you are discussing with Advocate Chabalala the Section 28?
Commissioner Kumalo, I'm going to say it again, although I got into trouble for saying it last week. When there's cover-ups happening, timelines and rational decisions cannot be explained. So because from the timeline here, how do you explain anything? It's basically them trying to cover up, but very poorly so. It's just my observation, and from dealing with these things for so long.
And then there's another affidavit by General Matlo that I'd like to refer you to at page 3534.
File 9.
Before that, even if it's just for the record, so at least from what we have seen in the ad hoc committee transcript and this affidavit now, and the WhatsApp exchanges and email exchanges, we can say that Advocate Johnson did not tell the truth in Parliament to the ad hoc committee when she said you received the Section 27 referral on the 16th of February 2025. That was an outright lie, looking at these documents.
Correct.
Thank you.
Sorry, which page, Advocate Siko?
It was 3519, I think, that's it?
3519.
3534, sorry.
3534. Yes.
This is a A2 statement And I'm not clear on when this was done, because if you look at 3536, where do you see the 26?
184-page affidavit. So the last
Yeah,
page
at the
is
last page.
3817.
Because what happens is she verbatim quotes from a report. So we'll get to that. But in this affidavit on page 3534, at paragraph 3, General Matlow says, on 9 January 2025, Internal Audit, Risk and Integrity Management received a request from Minister of Police to investigate the alleged procurement irregularities on appointment of the service provider to render health risk management services for SAPs at the Division Supply Chain Management. And then it says Appendix 1, copy of email request for investigation from the Chief of Staff and mandate. I led the investigation team to conduct an investigation into these allegations. So that is in 9 January 2025. Were you aware when General Matlow's name was mentioned, or regarding the Medicare 24, that the investigation that she undertook was at the request of the Minister in January 2025?
No, my understanding was that it was NASCOM that asked for the investigation.
Your understanding it was the National Commissioner?
Correct.
That had asked for the investigation, not the Minister?
No, not the Minister.
Okay.
I understood.
11 Labs AI agents are being deployed in platforms worldwide for real-time, human-like interactions with the lowest latency and the highest reliability.
Sure. So your all-hands meeting is coming up at 4 p.m. Did you want to sync with your team first?
Build smarter assistants, automate tasks, and connect your tools at lightning speed with the most reliable voice agents platform for developers.
The preliminary report or the investigation comes from a request of the Minister?
No.
Okay. Now, can we then go to what transpires at the meeting of the, I think it's the 27th of May, before we get to the meeting of the 2nd of June. So that would be on page, it starts on page 49. And then we'll go back to your report.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Correct.
Okay, so, file 11, page 49. And there were discussions about project diversion ID authorized section 204, but I'm interested in your recordal on page 51, which is a meeting where Mr. Pariachi, Perumal, Tlale, Patism Lambo.
Correct.
Charles is? Els, and the ID and you were present.
Correct. This took place at the Fire and Ice.
Okay.
Is it the same meeting that's at page 49?
Correct. It was a two-part meeting. My apologies. So this meeting, the ID1 said, was discussing the
Should we take a short break?
I was going to suggest
indicate when we should start. Let's suggest.
11 Labs AI agents are being deployed in platforms worldwide for real-time, human-like interactions with the lowest latency and the highest reliability.
Sure. So your all hands meeting is coming up at 4 p.m. Did you want to sync with your team first?
Build smarter assistants, automate tasks, and connect your tools at lightning speed with the most reliable voice agents platform for developers.
Thank you. Okay, so we were on the meeting that starts on page 49 on the 27th of May, and I was referring you to page 51 where there's a reference to Tembisa. You can just tell us what you were recording here.
Correct. The ID had wanted she still continued to call Medicare 24 Tembisa. So she wanted feedback with regards to what was happening. And then she indicated what was going to happen about the cyber search and asking DPCI for the phones, more specifically Colonel Kumalo. I have to explain this because it's not a detailed note. I think I stopped last week when I was explaining the phone issue. The investigating team led by Mr. Perumal and Mr. Beluchan wanted to actually physically remove the phones from the initial seizures. They wanted to go and collect the actual phones. And I said that legally it cannot be done that way because you are now breaking the chain of custody in that docket. You would then need to serve a warrant on Mr. Matlala. It's Section 29, capital A, 1A, cyber search warrant of the Cyber Crimes Act, and also serve it on the current holders of the phone. You would have to go with a digital expert, a service provider, and mirror image the phones and work off the mirror imaging. You cannot take the original. You are breaking chain of custody in different matters. So that was an argument that transpired. And then somehow rationality prevailed, and they proceeded in the manner that I explained it had to be done. They then further on page 52, Advocate Johnson and Mr. Perumal indicated that they had to do a J51, and then I was to do an extension on the designation to include the forensic investigation that was to be outsourced. And that they wanted to do the search warrant at the house, being the J51, and the cyber on the same day. And they were supposed to provide feedback to Advocate Johnson on all of this on the 10th, between the 10th and 15th of June.
Okay.
Did anybody ever ask Advocate Johnson why she referred to this as the Tembisa contract?
Chair, I think Advocate Johnson was as confused as I was in the beginning, or maybe she just was using it as Tembisa, because on the 16th of May, I even sent articles about the Tembisa, saying that other units are involved. There's already been search and seizure. My apologies. And that she then sends a message to me. It's not the same matter. So that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if she didn't know or if she knew, but she did refer to it as the Tembisa.
Thank you.
On page 53,
yes. It's reference to Matlo's report. What
correct,
report
that
was
is
that?
the preliminary report. And the question Advocate Johnson asked was, has Minister received reports? And what usually happens after reports like this, requests are completed. Forensic investigation, who, how, when, will it be finalized? So these questions, when Advocate Johnson's questions relating to Matlo's reports, and that Mr. Perumal and Mr. Beluchan were to get the information from her. And then Advocate Johnson referred me to the National Health Act, that I must read up on it when dealing with this matter. I was then instructed that a memo must be done for cyber services, and the service provided to be extended onto the memo.
Chair, I know that
think,
Ms. Ramsamy wants to continue because she wants to finish her evidence, but I think we should
she's
adjourn. Yeah.
struggling, I think.
And unfortunately, we'll have to finish it tomorrow. I'll have to discuss logistics because I know there are other witnesses. If we maybe can just take a short adjournment so I can get hold of Advocate Chaskelson just to find out what the arrangement is for tomorrow. Because I'm not sure if we can even continue with her tomorrow if there are other witnesses scheduled for tomorrow already.
We did hear from your counsel, Ms. Ramsamy, Mr. Ramatsekisa, that you would like to finish today, but observing you from where we are, you are struggling. You are struggling.
I am, but I'm strong enough to push through for as long as possible. I think we can push until at least 4.
Don't think we're going to achieve much till 4. Yeah, I think, Chair, we should just adjourn. We're not going to achieve much in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Let's adjourn, then you'll call us in when you're in a position.
Thank you, Chair.
Shine, shopping online. Download now.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Chair, we've arranged for Ms. Ramsami's evidence to then be stood down until Friday, the 14th of August at 9:30.
Contrary to your wishes, that's what must happen, unfortunately. We will resume with a hearing of your testimony this Friday.
Thank you, Chair.
We resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Yes, Chair.
Let's adjourn.